Hey there guys, Ignite the Fire here, and I apologise that you can't actually hear any of the audio coming from the game, but that's because when I originally recorded this episode, something weird happened with my storage files. So basically, I was able to keep the gameplay footage just fine, but it was the audio that actually messed up for me, hence I'm having to go back through and post-commentate this, which I know that kind of sucks. Post-commentary isn't always the greatest, but that we're going to have to deal with. And just like that, I had a Ignite the Fire on that crate right there, why the hell not? But it seems like right now I decided to implant that last bulb we got so we could enhance our Locotron experience with another wealth bar. Although I will admit power would have been more useful there, but of course we didn't have the rings for that come this point, since this is not 100%, so I wasn't exactly aiming to get many of the rings for that exact reason. But anyways, so what I've done is I've played through the entire game up to this chapter again on my Xbox 360. So basically, I had episodes 14, 15, and 16 all recorded for you guys, but then of course, you know, the audio affected all three of the videos. So I decided if this one I will post-commentate because this one has very, very good gameplay, which I don't think I could replicate. However, 15 and 16 I've decided I will re-record using my Xbox 360 now that I've played back up to that point on that system. So yes, for the next episodes we are going to go back to live commentary, which I'll be re-recording those videos for. So basically, my original Locke, I had two giants left at the end. So once I replay back through 15 and 16, I'm hoping to have beaten the Locke with more than two giants left. That would definitely be a huge achievement of mine, mind you. But here we have a cutscene right here. You know, normally I'd be quiet and let you guys watch the cutscene, but this time round, I can't do such things, because there is no commentary coming from the game, mind you, as I was saying about before, of course. So, the funny thing is that these videos were near enough all recorded back between March and May, and so that was before anything big started happening in my life. But now, of course, I'm post-commentating this in October, towards the second half of it, in fact, and that means that no anything's occurred. So basically, what I'm saying here is that my commentary can be a whole lot more focused and stuff like that, because, you know, time has passed, and B, because my live commentary I kind of need to focus on the game just as much as I do the commentary, but now that I don't need to worry about gameplay and just post-commentating this thing, you know, I can literally just speak about whatever I want with complete concentration and everything. So what I'm saying here is that the perfect thing to talk about right now would probably be exams, considering that the lead up to my exams in previous episodes was quite intense for me, considering that I did lots and lots of revision and practice and all of the above like that. You know, everything you need to prepare for exams I basically was doing a whole bunch of, and so, you know, that's why I took a break for a while so I could do all that revision and stuff. So basically what I'm saying here is that the build up to my exams I worked my socks off over more, and did it pay off? Well, most certainly. We'll get to the results in a sec, but first of all I want to talk about the exams. So the exams themselves went through absolutely fine. Now, some of them I finished thinking I absolutely nailed this, and some of them not so much. Particular exams I remember the start of. I remember the start of my second maths exam, because what happened is that we had a warm-up session, and so basically we were given, like, all of the hardest questions from all of the past maths papers. But the thing was that giving us all of the hardest questions for a warm-up really stressed me out because I didn't know all of them. So I was worried that because I didn't know all of them, then the ones that would come up in the exams were ones that I didn't know. So that made me really, really stressed out, and it put me in kind of a ranty mood, you could say. So I go to outside my exam room ranting, you could say, and so someone else makes some comments. I can't remember exactly what the comments are, and of course that makes me really upset, and so, you know, I start commenting back at her, insulting her and stuff like that. So then her friend comes over, comes in my face and starts threatening me even more. So now I'm having to deal with people threatening me, with stress, with pressure, and so basically I was pretty much ready to punch something. But the thing is that, you know, I'm trying to control my anger here because I don't want to go into an exam this stressed out and everything. But the problem with me is that whenever I deal with anger and I don't want to let my anger out, I kind of turn that anger into sadness. so I actually started crying before going into my exam. But luckily though, like, I had 10 minutes before the exam started, so I was able to go outside, get some breath of fresh air, cool myself down, and then I went into the exam and I absolutely nailed it. Maths paper 2 was by far probably my best exam of the lot. Like, sure, I didn't go into it too well, but I came out of it very happy with it indeed. So yeah, that was that experience for me. And then there was my very, very first literature paper, which I was very stressed out about, because the thing was that I didn't know much about English literature. Like, I never felt very good at English because I never really got good grades in class and everything. So I was going into the exam not that confident with myself. But once I came out of the exam, however, like, basically this first exam, we had to learn 18 poems, and one of the poems would be printed on the exam, which we had to write about. The one poem which was printed on the exam was my favourite one. It was the one I knew the most about. It was my favourite poem out of all of them. So naturally, you know, I got lucky. I crushed the exam thanks to the fact that the poem was literally the best one out of all 18 that they could have printed. So I crushed that literature exam despite my own thoughts going into it. And then, of course, my second literature exam I did very well in as well, because it was that was for novels, and basically the novels asked about the theme of Christmas from A Christmas Carol, and they also asked about Arthur Kipps in A Woman in Black. But the thing was that I knew a lot about both of those things, so I absolutely crushed those essays as well. So both of the literature papers went well, to say the least, you could say. But the final exam I want to talk about, this is another build-up to the exam, kind of like the maths one, was my very last exam, my graphics exam. So, all of my other exams had finished. I had 22 exams, so I had finished the other 21 exams, because physics was the last exam for most people. However, there was two more exams after that, which were graphics and dance. But of course, you know, not many people did those, which is why physics was the last exam for most people. But regardless, because graphics was the second to last exam, basically most people forgot about it. So I got extra time for my GCSE exams. Obviously, and so because of that, I had a special room. I had a room in particular for my extra time. But the thing was that the week after our proper GCSEs finished, the year 10s, the year below us, started their mock week, and so of course naturally the year 10s needed my extra time exam room for their extra time during their mocks. So of course this made me all stressed out, because I had no idea where my official exam was, my actual exam which I needed to do on that same day as the year 10 mocks. So here I am, stressing out, worried that I'm going to miss my exam entirely, because I had no invigilator and no one telling me where to go. And then, of course, half an hour after the starting time for the exam, I finally had someone come down and fetch me to tell me that there was the room change, which nobody knew about except for that one person who completely forgot to come get me. So basically, I didn't lose half an hour of the exam. In fact, they started me from the beginning of the exam, so I got the full time still, because it wasn't my fault. It was the person's fault who was meant to come get me, who completely forgot to come get me. So yeah, that exam went down just fine. I might have had a stressful beginning, but again, it's one of those exams which I came out of absolutely fine. I absolutely nailed the exams. That was great. And then there was results day. So basically, before going to get my results, I projected myself certain grades, as you guys know from the video I made for it already. And so I projected myself incredibly low grades. Like, I projected myself a 5 in English language in PE, then a 6 in literature and the sciences. And then I also predicted myself a 7 in everything else, alongside an 8 in maths. But it turns out, you know, like I said, those were very low projections even, because basically I got an 8 in maths, geography, English literature, and chemistry. And English literature was a huge surprise for me. I was never expecting to get a grade as high as an 8 in English literature. And even better, when it came to English language, I got a 7. I never was expecting that either. See, I got a 7 in English language, not computer science, sorry. Graphics, I also got a 7 in. Well, I got an A in graphics, which is the equivalent of a 7. But regardless, I got a 7 in language, graphics, biology, and physics, which physics was genuinely surprised me, because physics, you know, it's my worst science, so getting a 7 in my worst science I was very chuffed about. Although biology, I was 2 marks off an 8 in biology. I just recently got my biology exam remarked, and it turns out that I gained 1 mark during the remarking. So basically, now, instead of me being 2 marks from an 8 in biology, I'm 1 mark from an 8 in biology. Yay! But hey, that means I did get, at the very least, a very high 7, mind you. But regardless, and then I also got a 6 in computer science and a 4 in PE. But I did not give a crap about PE. PE was like my least most important exam. It's why that is why it's the one I gave dedicated the least most revision to. Now, computer science, out of all of those exams I just told you about, computer science is by far the only one I was disappointed in. I really wanted a 7, at least, in that, but of course I got a 6, which was far low be what I projected. I thought I did way better in those exams than what I did, but again, it's a grade I will take, mind you. It's far from a bad grade. I mean, a 6 makes it sound bad with a new grading system, but a 6 is actually a high B, so that's actually very, very good, despite the fact that the grading system doesn't make it look good. Ooh, what we got here? We got some purchases going on here, because this is the part of the game where you can purchase a charm for robotic repellent enemies. Now, what's hilarious is that I've bought this in this profile, but because I'll be changing around the profiles in the next video, I'll no longer have that charm anyway, so it's not going to be of much use to me after this point. That's unfortunate. But no, regardless, going back to my exams, huge surprise, and I was very chuffed with what I got, and that actually eventually led me to getting a job with Scuff Gaming where I test controllers. Now, I wish I could go more in depth with my commentary on that, but unfortunately, it's all, I'm trying to think of a word here, contemporary or something like that, you know, whatever the word is, that means that basically I can't give you guys too much information on my job, you know. Confidential, that's it. It's strictly confidential. But regardless, so yeah, I got a job there, which I'm being paid £5 an hour for, and I work on Tuesdays and Fridays for 8 hours, so that's 16 hours a week, so that's 80 quid a week, which slowly but surely adds to 320 quid a month, which, you know, is very good revenue, although I am saving a lot of that every month in order to save up for a car insurance once I eventually get a license, that is, because I'm now 17, so I'm legal to take lessons. So basically my parents have said for my 18th birthday, that's when I'll take my driving test. Not my lessons, my test, because they're going to start teaching me from now on. But anyway, that's how my life is going right now. It's actually being really, really good for me. Because college is going really well. I'm in a games design course, level 3, because my grades were so good I was able to get straight onto that course without needing to study an additional GCSE, for I passed Maths and English, as you can tell with flying colours. You could even say, as I did get a 7 and an 8 in those, and all I needed to pass was a 4, so yep, flying colours alright, but regardless, even though grades don't have colours. Anyways, so yeah, college is going really, really well, and work is going really, really well. So, my life is going very, very well. It's the best it's ever been, actually, I'd go as far to say. Because I'm just doing well on it, you know. For once, life is rewarding me for all the hard work I've put in all these years, you know. That's what's so satisfying about the work, you know. The work itself isn't great, but when you get through a reward, it's all the more satisfying for that work, you know. So the more work you put in, the bigger the reward will be, is what I'm saying right here, guys. So if you're on your GCSE year, I wish you great luck, but just do what I did. Just revise, study, and do it hard, and do more of what I did. I didn't start my revision like heavily until Christmas, and I highly regret that. If you are in your GCSE year, start revising now. I mean it. Do it now for the next 8 months, and trust me, you will ace those exams, because exams, for the most part, sure, they measure your intelligence, but they also naturally measure your preparation. And if you have good preparation to exams, then you will do well in them. So that's why I'm saying start revising now, because doing that will mean that, you know, you'll get better grades for it. And trust me, better grades will be much more rewarding in the long term. And not to mention, if you're on your GCSE year, that means that after your GCSEs are finished, you'll get a much longer summer. You'll get a 10-week summer rather than a 6-week summer. And trust me, that is all the more rewarding after putting in so much effort for those GCSEs and everything. But regardless, so yeah, that's how life is going right now. As you can tell, a lot has changed since I was previously recording this vlog. But the problem is with that is that, of course, you know, I'm on college Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm at work Tuesday and Friday. So as you can tell, that leaves me with very, very little free time. So that, of course, makes it very difficult for me for recording YouTube. It means that I can only record YouTube on Wednesday evenings and on weekends. So, you know, I record a bunch on weekends, because then I have, you know, uploads prepared, and I just simply put them on scheduled afterwards. But that doesn't make it any more easier for me, especially since I only have one time frame to edit, which is 2 hours on Monday between classes at college. But regardless, I suppose I'm doing fine with juggling between my education, my work, and my YouTube. Because the thing is that YouTube, as much as I love doing it, this is just a hobby. So out of all of those three things I just told you about, it's the one I need to prioritize the least. So my apologies if uploads slow down and stuff like that. You know, just please accept that sometimes I am too busy to do stuff like that. Because hey, I just had my half term, so you'd be expecting for me to get lots of uploads done then, but I couldn't because I've been working extra time at work to earn extra cash, mind you. But hey, the more money I have, the more I can invest in YouTube. And who knows, maybe my investments in YouTube will come back with ad revenue someday. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But no, as of recording this, I'm at 148 subscribers, which is blowing my mind right now. I'm so close to 150. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate it, honestly. Words cannot compensate for my appreciation, as I have a habit of saying. But yeah, we have an Genie right now. Honestly, much better than many people make her out to be. Purely because many people, for some reason, don't know how to play her. But one thing you can do here, a nice little tip and trick, is you can actually hold the laser there. Because basically, if you keep the laser there, then once you place this thing into the thing right there, you know, you have an enemy spawning, and I love the way how I called it, the thing into the thing. Kind of accurate if you ask me. But regardless, an enemy is going to spawn soon, so basically, if you just stand still, they're going to walk straight into that laser. You see what I mean? That's the most effective way to take that guy down. You take him down by doing absolutely nothing. Ha ha ha! Sucker, and you know it. Unfortunately, that experience wasn't exactly utilised well, because the Genie's already leveled up here. But hey, after you defeat the enemy using the crystal, you can reflect it around one more time to get that wheel of power right there. And that's fortunate, because at the beginning of the episode I was saying how a wheel of power would be better than the wheel of wealth that was using before, so I would say we could swap that around next episode, but again, because the next episode we are swapping between files, you know, I'm not going to be able to do that, most unfortunately. Because yes, I have indeed replayed through the game on my Xbox 360, speedrun in fact. Although I say we won't have a robotic charm, what I'll do is I'll go back to go and get the robotic charm in this level, because why not? And it seems like I'm landing here for whatever reason, although there is no need to do such things. So now that we're here, let's get back into it. That's silly of me, so we're switching back into jet mode right here. So how have you guys been enjoying the Giant Locke so far? It's definitely been my best Locke so far, although as of recording this, I have recorded a bunch of my Ultimate Dragon Locke for Skylanders Trap Team. In fact, the first 2 episodes just went live, and they're doing well in terms of views, but you guys seem to be hating me because I forgot Blade's name. Oops. But for those of you watching this before the rest of the Ultimate Dragon Locke is released, don't worry, I will redeem myself for Blades. Blades is a complete badass in later episodes of the series, trust me. He's by far one of my better dragons in that series, which honestly I think Blades and Drobot are probably going to be the longest living ones in that Locke, because Drobot is flipping Drobot and Blades is, well, Blades is that simple. But anyways, the game this game at hand, we have some more shooting to do, it would seem. I do like this level though, it's one of my favourite levels of this game, purely because of its huge variety in gameplay. That is most appreciated from this game, to say the least. Because yeah, basically like everything that they did wrong in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, here they fixed it. So if they added in new things that were great, and they fixed all the bad things, and made the old things that were good even better, you could say. Or at least that's what many reviews for Skylanders Giants were at the time. I mean, like, personally, I don't think Skylanders Giants is better than Spyro's Adventure, although it is a better game. I just don't enjoy it as much because, you know, Spyro's Adventure is the OG original and everything, so, you know, you just can't beat the OGs and everything, and I suppose that's why I have so much nostalgia behind Spyro's Adventure, you could say. But hey, we have 7 Giants left at the moment, so this Giant Locke is definitely going much better than Crash's, because another thing that's happened since, oh yeah, and by the way, the element of the area changed to water, so of course that means Fun Pack. But another thing that has changed significantly since my previous recordings for this series is that Crash for Skylanders finished his Giant Locke, and he didn't beat it. He only managed to make it to level 13, and here I am at level 14 with 7 Giants still. Take that, Crash, haha. And yes, I am on the same difficulty. I am on hard difficulty still. I haven't been cheap on you guys for difficulty off camera. Because that's the thing, I try to be fair with Locks. Like, at the end of the day, I have lost a Locke before, which is why I'm going to have to go back and retry that Locke. For Legendary Locke, that is. But hey, the Legendary Locke, the main reason for losing it is because we lost so many Skylanders because of cheap reasons. Very early on in chapter 6, so when I redo for Legendary Locke, I'm going to be much more careful with that, and hopefully we'll have far less cheap deaths. Okay, there's that dude taken down, although Funpack is not looking great on health right now. Extinguish for fire! Man, that does not feel natural for me to say. How disgusting of me. But thanks to Funpack's combos right there, we finished off that guy, but we're not in a good position right now, considering that we still have many more combat scenarios to worry about, and Funpack, as I said before, is quite low. But anyways, the most annoying part of this is that basically I lost all the files for my Giants thumbnails. So basically I'm going to have to go back and remake all of these thumbnails, and that's just going to be an absolute pain to remake those. But hey, I'll deal with it all the more, you could say. Oh, treasure chest, don't mind if I do. Back when I was playing on the Wii, of course, but now, you know, I no longer play on the Wii, I'm playing on the Xbox 360 for my next profile, so you're definitely not going to see any more motion controls from this moment onward, is what I'm saying right here. There is a sapphire up there, but I can't remember whether I am asked to collect it or not, considering that, you know, we don't exactly need them right now, for all of my Giants are fully upgraded as it is. Now, funny thing about this is that this is actually the one of my first cameras this is recorded with, because basically, the original run of the Giants Lock I recorded with my ZTE Blade, but since then, of course, you know, I broke that phone, unfortunately, so I had to get a new phone and a new camera, which was the LG Neon, which wasn't a very, very good camera. I did not like that camera very much, but hey, it did its job. I was able to record videos, and again, I'm not being paid for this, so it's not exactly like I care about the actual video quality itself. What I care about is the content. But regardless, so yeah, I got that camera, but the main problem with that is that that phone didn't have very much storage, so I wasn't able to record very long videos. I could only do about 20-minute videos, which was very unfortunate for me. Luckily enough, I had Nolan for the editing with all that, so Nolan did help me with editing. And oh no! We lost Funpack. Wait, that's not oh no at all, purely because Funpack is not my favourite giant, actually my second least favourite giant, actually. So I love the way how this series, we lost Crusher first, and then we lost Funpack, so we lost my two least favourite giants first. By the way, we're swapping out the Bouncer right here, for he will be most powerful in this situation, and he's one of the giants that hasn't lost any health yet. So, it makes sense and everything to utilise him. But anyways, now with that fool all taken down, it looks like we can move on here, fortunately enough. But anyways, I was talking about something previously, and I can't remember what it was. Before I went on a ramble about how Funpack and Crusher was my least favourite giants and everything. But yeah, that's just how everything's going. I'm glad you guys had the opportunity to catch up. And oh yeah, I was talking about cameras, isn't it? So yeah, basically I went from that LG Neon to my newest phone, which now has much, much better camera quality. But the problem is that because this is still the gameplay file from that original phone I had recorded, the gameplay quality I've noticed is even lower than usual, so that's unfortunate. And by that I mean the quality of the screen itself, not necessarily the gameplay itself, because the gameplay, as always, is fantastic, for I am very good at these games, I will have to admit. But heck, I'm definitely looking forward to replaying 15 through 16 in terms of the chapters, to see if we can beat the game with more giants than what I did originally. I mean, like, we still have T-Rex, Swarm, and Eyebrawl up my arsenal, which are very powerful giants indeed. Because, yeah, Crash's main problem is that he lost Bouncer way too early on. But, man, Bouncer is a total badass right here. Oh, I love this guy. Because, yeah, as of this video being uploaded, I'm actually currently in the works of creating Bouncer's Know Your Skylanders episode. So, that's going to come out soon, and that's going to be quite exciting indeed. For I do like that series, although it tends to be my least most popular series, it would seem. But, heck, I'm going back to this a lot purely because I want to finish off all loose ends by Christmas. So basically, like, I want to finish off my prediction and my Skylanders series come Christmas. And then, like, after Christmas, I can focus solely on my ongoing series, which is, of course, for Ultimate Series, Know Your Skylanders and reviews, top 10s and guides at the moment. So those are the ones which, come 2019, I want to primarily focus on when it comes to Skylanders. And on top of that, we're also going to have the games and the locks, as I always do. Because for Skylanders games, with how big that series is probably not going to end until about 2022, I'm predicting, ish. I mean, like, round 1 might end around about, towards the end of 2019, I'm going to say, because there is a lot of rounds to get through for Skylanders games, so I didn't make it with the intention for it being short, mind you, which is why I started it so early on, because basically I wasn't originally going to start the series until I had 500 subscribers, because it is a highly viewer interactive based series, and if I don't have any viewers, then it's kind of hard to interact with them and everything. But I decided, screw it, I'll start early so that then, you know, we can actually get to the later episodes much sooner. Because, you know, I'm hoping that the later episodes garner a whole lot more interaction than what these earlier episodes do. Because in all fairness, that series started off phenomenally, but now it's not doing as well as I would have hoped. But hey, it's still doing fine, and I'm enjoying recording it, which is what matters most. Because as I was saying before, you know, I do this for enjoyment of it, but because it is a hobby of mine, that's why I have to prioritize it for the least in my life right now. But heck, we did beat the level. Unfortunately, we didn't acquire the No Lives Lost objective, the most important objective of them all, for we did lose a life, that being Fun Pack, but in truth, once more, I don't really care. Fun Pack is not my favourite Giants as Giants go, so losing him was not the biggest loss to our arsenal, as one would say. And there's Bounce from the Badass being a total, in the background being a total badass, of course I meant by that. Just bouncing about for Dread Yacht, having a wonderful time. I love the way I'm doing all these Christmas tunes, even though Christmas is so far away yet, and plus I'm not even very good at them. Because, yeah, I hate people who start celebrating Christmas already when it comes to when it comes to October. We're in October, people, we're not even in December yet. Christmas is ages away, but regardless, I'm going to have to end off here. As you're about to see, I do swap out the wheel for the Wheel of Power, as I was saying I would before, but as I said before, since we are changing profiles, it's not going to be of much use for the next few episodes. But anyways, I'll be seeing you guys for the next Giant Locke episode. I sure hope you guys enjoyed the post commentary, regardless on your personal opinions on it. So, all the more, I'll be seeing you guys in the next Giant Locke video. But until such a moment, peace!